I logged into Roblox expecting the usual experience. You know, maybe a few rounds of whatever game I happened to be addicted to that week, a couple of people arguing in chat over something completely insignificant, and at least one person with a username that looked like somebody smashed their keyboard into the desk and decided to stick with the result. A perfectly normal day. Nothing unusual. Nothing dramatic. I wasn't expecting my life to suddenly turn into a discount psychological thriller written by somebody who drank 3 energy drinks and thought, yeah, this seems like a reasonable plot. But that's exactly what happened, because I met a girl who became completely obsessed with me. And honestly, looking back at the whole thing, I still don't know whether I should laugh about it or sleep with one eye open. So I joined the game, minding my own business, doing absolutely nothing worthy of attention. I wasn't flexing rare items. I wasn't showing off. I wasn't walking around with a giant sign that said, "Please become emotionally attached to me." I was literally just existing. Yet somehow, out of the hundreds of people in the server, one girl decided that I was apparently the greatest thing since sliced bread. She walked over to me and simply said, "Hi." Now that's normal. People say hi all the time. Nobody thinks twice about it. So naturally I said hi back because I'm not a caveman. And immediately after that she said, "You're cute." Which already caught me off guard, because first of all, this is Roblox. We are block people. We have the physical appearance of sentient Lego bricks. There is only so much attractiveness you can assign to a creature whose head is shaped like a cube. But I thanked her anyway, because what else are you supposed to do? Rejecting compliments in Roblox feels like refusing free samples at Costco. It just feels wrong. Then she asked if I wanted to hang out with her in-game. Again, harmless enough. Nothing weird. So we spent some time playing together, and I thought that was the end of it. I thought I had simply encountered a friendly player, a normal human being. Unfortunately, I was wrong. Horrifically wrong. Because after about 10 minutes, she started following me everywhere. And when I say everywhere, I mean everywhere. If I walked to another area, she was there. If I climbed a mountain, she climbed the mountain. If I jumped into the water, suddenly she was Michael Phelps. I couldn't escape her. It was like having a shadow with separation anxiety. Then she started saying things like, "Don't leave me," and "Promise we'll always be together." And I'm sitting there wondering if I accidentally skipped several seasons of character development because I swear we had known each other for approximately 11 minutes. This relationship was progressing faster than internet drama channels whenever 2 celebrities unfollow each other. I tried brushing it off because maybe she was joking. Maybe this was some elaborate meme. Roblox players are weird. That's not news. But then I noticed something strange. Every time another player came near me, she would immediately stand between us like some sort of bodyguard hired by jealousy itself. Somebody would say hello, and she'd instantly type, "He's mine." Excuse me? Mine? What am I? A limited edition collectible? Am I a Pokemon card? Did somebody forget to tell me that I'd been auctioned off? Because apparently, according to this girl, I was private property. And the craziest part was she wasn't joking. Another girl in the server tried talking to me, and this obsessed player completely lost it. She started spamming messages saying things like, "Back off," and "He doesn't like you." Meanwhile, I'm sitting there in complete silence because nobody consulted me during this meeting. I wasn't aware that I'd become the main character in Roblox Twilight. At this point, I started getting concerned. Not genuinely terrified, because again, this is Roblox, not a horror movie. But definitely concerned enough to wonder what kind of strange parallel universe I had wandered into. So I switched servers. Problem solved, right? Wrong. 5 minutes later, I see her username pop up again. My heart almost stopped. I thought there was absolutely no way. Surely this was a coincidence. Surely the universe wasn't this committed to the bit. But there she was, standing right in front of me. And the first thing she typed was, "I found you." Ladies and gentlemen, I nearly turned into a liquid. I became soup. Because that sentence has never once been comforting in human history. Nobody hears "I found you" and thinks, "What a delightful development." No, that's horror movie dialogue. That's the sentence the villain says before the opening credits. Apparently she had joined me through my profile, which I completely forgot was public. Rookie mistake, an amateur blunder. I had basically left the front door open and was shocked when somebody walked inside. So I disabled joins and thought that would finally end things. But this girl was playing chess while I was eating the pieces. Because somehow she managed to track down one of my friends and join through them instead. At that point, I wasn't even impressed anymore. I was witnessing dedication levels usually reserved for detectives and IRS agents. My friend was laughing so hard he couldn't breathe. Meanwhile, I was experiencing the digital equivalent of being haunted. Every time I loaded into a game, she appeared. She'd wave at me and say things like, "There you are," with the enthusiasm of somebody reuniting with their long-lost spouse returning from war. I had known this person for less than an hour. Less than an hour. Some people take longer deciding what to order at a restaurant. Yet somehow this girl had already decided we were soulmates. Then things escalated further. She began dressing her avatar to match mine. If I changed outfits, she'd change outfits. If I wore blue, she'd wear blue. If I switched to a different accessory, she'd somehow appear moments later with the exact same aesthetic. It was like being followed by an extremely enthusiastic mirror. And honestly, I started testing it. I put on ridiculous combinations that made me look like a traffic accident involving a clown and a medieval knight. Sure enough, 10 minutes later, she appeared wearing almost the exact same thing. I was dealing with a level of commitment usually seen in cult leaders and football fans. Then she started introducing me to random people as her boyfriend, which was fascinating because this information was news to me. Apparently, I had entered a relationship without signing any paperwork. Imagine waking up one morning and finding out somebody had already announced your wedding. That's basically how this felt. Random players were congratulating me while I sat there wondering whether I should call customer support. One guy even said, "You two are cute together." Brother, I didn't even know we were together. She would constantly ask where I was going whenever I left the game. If I disappeared for 10 minutes, she'd send messages asking if I was okay. Which sounds sweet until you realize we had known each other for the same amount of time most people spend watching a movie. At one point, I joined a horror game with some friends, and somehow she showed up again. And the funniest part was she wasn't scared of the monsters. No, her biggest concern was whether another girl would talk to me. The ghost chasing us down the hallway wasn't the priority. Priorities were apparently elsewhere. One player asked if I wanted to team up with them, and before I could answer, she typed, "No, he's with me." The confidence was unbelievable. I've seen politicians less committed to their statements. Eventually, my friends started treating the whole situation like entertainment. Every time she joined, they'd announce her arrival like a WWE wrestler entering the ring. "Ladies and gentlemen, she's back." One friend was literally taking bets on how long it would take her to find me after I switched games. Another friend referred to her as the final boss, which honestly wasn't inaccurate, because no matter what I did, she always returned. It became less like avoiding a player and more like trying to escape taxes. Eventually, I decided enough was enough. I had to talk to her directly. So I asked why she was following me everywhere, and her answer nearly caused me to ascend into another dimension. She simply said, "Because I love you." Love? Love. Ma'am, we've shared approximately 47 minutes of interaction, and half of those involved me trying to escape. This wasn't love. This was speedrunning emotional attachment. I've seen instant noodles take longer to develop. I told her politely that we barely knew each other, and that maybe she should slow down a little. There was a long pause, and then she typed the saddest message imaginable. She said she didn't have many friends and thought I was nice. Suddenly, the whole situation changed. Because behind all the weird behavior was just somebody who was lonely. Somebody who got attached too quickly because they were happy somebody paid attention to them. And honestly, that made me feel bad. So instead of making fun of her, I explained that friendships take time and that following people everywhere and claiming ownership over them might scare others away. Surprisingly, she understood. She apologized. And just like that, the yandere arc ended with the most wholesome plot twist imaginable. We played a few more games, but this time, things were normal. No possessiveness, no declarations of eternal love after 30 minutes. Just two players having fun. Eventually, she made more friends and stopped depending entirely on me for attention. Which was honestly the best ending possible. Because for a while there, I genuinely thought I was going to end up starring in the world's first Roblox documentary about digital stalking. Instead, I got a strange reminder that sometimes weird situations have surprisingly human explanations. Although I still laugh whenever I remember seeing, "I found you" pop up in chat, because I swear my soul briefly exited my body. To this day, my friends still bring it up. Anytime somebody follows me into a game, they start panicking and asking if she's returned. They've built up this legendary image of her, like she's some mythical creature lurking in the shadows waiting for my online status to turn green. And honestly, after everything that happened, I wouldn't even be surprised. Because Roblox is one of those places where you log in expecting a normal gaming session and somehow end up with stories that sound completely fake. Yet somehow they're real. And that's why I will never underestimate the chaos of random encounters online again, because one innocent hi turned into a saga so bizarre that even now, I still struggle to explain it without sounding like I made the entire thing up. But trust me, if you ever log into Roblox and somebody says they've known you for 10 minutes and already want to spend eternity together, run. Not because they're evil, not because they're dangerous, but because you are about to become the unwilling protagonist of the strangest side quest of your life.